If you are widowed or divorced, Social Security owes you money right now that you have never collected. And the reason you have not collected it is not because you do not qualify. It is because nobody told you it existed. Not your financial advisor, not your accountant, not the SSA representative who processed your original benefit application. Nobody sat you down and said, because of what happened in your marriage, there is a separate benefit attached to your spouse's Social Security record that belongs to you. A benefit that could be worth up to $143,000 over the course of your retirement. A benefit that is sitting in the system right now, fully funded, legally yours, and going uncollected every single month. Do not claim it. I want you to stop what you are doing right now and pay attention to the next 10 minutes, because what I am about to tell you is one of the most underclaimed benefits in the entire Social Security system. And the people who are missing it are not people who made a mistake. They are people who simply were never told the rule existed. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what this benefit is, whether you qualify for it, how much you are owed, and the single phone call that starts the process. There is no complex application. There is no months-long review. One phone call. That is it. And if you have been widowed or divorced for more than a year and have never made this call, you need to make it today, not this week. Today. Because this is one of the only Social Security benefits where every single month you delay is a month of income you can never recover. If you are not subscribed to this channel, do that right now and turn on the bell. Social Security rules around survivor and divorced spouse benefits change regularly. When they change, SSA sends no personal notice to the people affected. This channel tracks every update and explains what it means for your specific situation before the window closes. Subscribe and let's get into it. Here is the benefit most widowed and divorced Americans do not know about. Social Security has two completely separate benefit pools that a widowed or divorced person may be entitled to draw from. The first is your own retirement benefit, based on your own work history and earnings record. This is what most people know about. This is what SSA processes automatically. The second pool is the benefit based on your former spouse's Social Security record. And this second pool is where most widowed and divorced people are leaving enormous amounts of money uncollected every single month. Let me start with widows and widowers because the benefit here is the largest and the most urgent. If your spouse passed away and they were collecting Social Security or had paid into Social Security long enough to qualify, you are entitled to collect what is called a survivor benefit. The survivor benefit pays up to 100% of what your deceased spouse was receiving at the time of their death. 100%, not a portion, not a reduced amount, the full benefit your spouse earned. Here is why this matters so much. If your late spouse was a higher earner than you, which is the case for most married couples across most of the generations born before 1965, their Social Security benefit may be significantly larger than yours, and you are legally entitled to receive that full amount instead of your own smaller benefit. Most widows and widowers do not know this. They apply for their own Social Security benefit, SSA processes it, and they start collecting. SSA does not automatically switch you to the survivor benefit if it is higher. SSA does not send a letter saying, by the way, your deceased spouse's benefit is larger than yours, and you could be receiving that instead. They wait for you to ask. Let me give you a real example of what this costs. Say your own Social Security benefit is $1,200 a month. Your late spouse's benefit was $1,900 a month. The difference is $700 a month. $700 every single month that is legally owed to you and not going into your account because you are on your own benefit instead of the survivor benefit. Over 12 months, that is $8,400. Over 5 years, that is $42,000. Over 17 years, which is the average retirement length for someone claiming at 66, that gap compounds to over $143,000. $143,000 sitting uncollected because SSA never told you to make one phone call. And here is the part that makes this even more urgent. The survivor benefit does not pay retroactively from when your spouse passed away. It pays from the date you apply. Every month you wait is a month of that $700 difference, or whatever your specific gap is, that you will never get back. There is no correction for delayed applications on this benefit. The clock is running right now. Now let me talk about divorced spouses, and because this benefit is even less well known and the number of people missing it is staggering. If you were married for at least 10 years and are now divorced, you are entitled to collect Social Security benefits based on your former spouse's earnings record, even if they have remarried, even if you have remarried and later divorced again. And even if your former spouse has never applied for their own Social Security benefits yet, the divorced spouse benefit pays up to 50% of your former spouse's full retirement benefit. And here's the critical detail. Collecting this benefit does not affect your former spouse in any way. It does not reduce what they receive. It does not notify them that you are collecting. It has absolutely no impact on their benefit whatsoever. The requirements are straightforward. You must have been married to this person for at least 10 years. You must currently be unmarried, though if you remarried and that marriage ended in divorce, annulment, or death, you may qualify again. You must be at least 62 years old, and your former spouse must be at least 62 or already receiving Social Security benefits. Here is what the numbers look like. Say your former spouse's full Social Security benefit is $2,400 a month. 50% of that is $1,200 a month. If your own benefit based on your own work history is only $800 a month, collecting the divorced spouse benefit instead gives you $400 more every single month. $400 permanently for the rest of your life. Over 20 years, that is $96,000 you are leaving on the table by not making one phone call to SSA. And it gets more strategic than that. There's a way to use both benefits, your own and the divorced spouse benefit, to maximize your total lifetime Social Security income. You can collect the divorced spouse benefit starting at 62 while letting your own benefit continue to grow. Your own benefit grows by approximately 8% per year between your full retirement age and age 70. By the time you switch to your own larger benefit at 70, you have been collecting the divorced spouse benefit for years, and your own benefit has grown to its maximum amount. Most divorced people have never been told this strategy exists. Most SSA representatives will not volunteer this information. You have to know to ask, and you have to ask in the right way. Now, here is exactly what you need to do depending on your situation. If you are widowed, call the Social Security Administration at 1-800-772-1213. When the agent answers, say these exact words: I want to compare my current monthly benefit against the survivor benefit I am entitled to based on my late spouse's Social Security record, and I want to know which one is higher. That specific sentence triggers the right comparison. The agent will pull both numbers, your current benefit and the survivor benefit you are entitled to, and tell you which one is larger. If the survivor benefit is larger, you can switch to it immediately. The increase takes effect the following month. If you lost your spouse before you began collecting Social Security, call SSA and say this: I would like to apply for a survivor benefit based on my late spouse's Social Security record. I have not yet applied for any Social Security benefits. That single sentence starts the application. Bring your spouse's Social Security number, your marriage certificate, and the death certificate. SSA processes survivor benefit applications relatively quickly. If you are divorced and you were married for at least 10 years, call SSA at 1-800-772-1213 and say this: I was married for more than 10 years, I am now divorced, and I would like to know whether I qualify to collect a divorced spouse benefit based on my former spouse's Social Security record. That sentence starts the inquiry. The agent will verify your eligibility, calculate the divorced spouse benefit amount, and compare it to your own benefit so you can make the most informed decision about when and how to claim. One important thing to know before you make this call: SSA representatives are required to answer questions you ask, but they are not required to volunteer information you do not ask for. The exact language I just gave you is designed to ask the right question in the right way. Write it down word for word before you dial. Here is a summary of everything you need to know. If you are widowed, you are entitled to up to 100% of what your late spouse was receiving. SSA will not automatically switch you to the higher benefit. You must call and ask for the comparison. Every month you delay is permanent lost income. If you are divorced after a marriage of at least 10 years, you are entitled to up to 50% of your former spouse's full benefit. Collecting this does not affect your former spouse in any way. You can collect this while letting your own benefit grow. You can switch to your own higher benefit later. The gap between what you are currently receiving and what you could be receiving might be $200 a month. It might be $500. It might be more. Over a retirement of 15 to 20 years, that gap is the difference between financial security and financial stress on a fixed income. One phone call, 1-800-772-1213. The exact sentences I gave you, written down before you dial. That call might be the most valuable 30 minutes you spend this year. Share this video right now with every widow, widower, and divorced person you know who is on Social Security or approaching retirement age. Do not wait until you finish watching something else. Do it now. Someone you share this with today might make that call today, and the check that hits their account next month might be hundreds of dollars larger than it has ever been. I will see you in the next one.